Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about the originals. Now, for those of us who watch The Vampire Diaries, we know that there was a backdoor pilot for the originals that was done last season during TVD. And so I guess that is counted as the pilot. So this episode was episode number 2. Now, the reason I find that so interesting is because this episode was really like a lot of recapping and a lot of rehashing from that episode that aired last season. And I get it, because obviously they're trying to appeal to everyone. So even if you don't watch The Vampire Diaries, you could have watched this episode and gotten a real understanding of who the originals are, where they come from, and what they're doing in New Orleans. If you want to check out the review I did for the originals pilot, I'm going to go ahead and throw that link up on the screen, and you can click it at your leisure. Now, even though there was a lot of recapping in this episode, there were some new things, and there were some new scenes. We actually got to see when the Michelsons first showed up in New Orleans. So that was kind of interesting. And we saw this episode really play out from Elijah's perspective, which I love because I love Elijah. So we get that Klaus is coming back to New Orleans, and the vampire that is kind of in charge of all of the vampires and of all the witches is named Marcel. He was sired by Klaus and really almost kind of like trained and mentored by Klaus as well. So that means he's going to be kind of a psycho. We get that Marcel has something on the witches. There's a way that he's able to control the witches, and they are not allowed to perform magic, because if they do, he finds out about it and he punishes them by killing them. By the end of the episode, we learn what his secret weapon is. It's a witch, and her name is Davina, and we get that she's obviously really, really powerful, because at one point he actually makes a comment to her that the originals should be afraid of her. So that would mean that she would need to be pretty darn powerful for Elijah and Klaus to be afraid of her. The interesting thing about the show is I actually find myself rooting for Klaus, and that is not something that happens often. You get that he has this, that there's this pull for him to come and stay in New Orleans because it's got all of the things that he's ever really wanted, like family and community and loyalty and all of those things, and power, because he is Klaus. Now, of course, in the original pilot, we learned that Haley, the werewolf that Klaus had a one-night stand with, is preggers. And so, yeah, you got this whole baby storyline, and I really don't know how I feel about that. I was not in love with it when we saw the original backdoor pilot. I just thought, really? They're gonna have Klaus be a father? It just seems like a lot. I know a big theme in this show is family, so it makes sense. But it's still kind of I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to wait and see how they do it. One thing I was majorly bummed by was the fact that Klaus actually daggered Elijah at the end of this episode. Really? I mean, one of the reasons I was super excited to watch the originals is because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get to see Elijah every week. Elijah was one of my favorite characters from The Vampire Diaries. So I was so excited when I thought I would see him week after week on this show. But no, he got daggered. So I'm guessing now that means I'm not gonna see him for a little while. So yeah, I mean, that was episode 2, which was really kind of a rehash of episode 1. But that's for all the new people joining us. So next week's episode will be more of an example of what's coming. We'll kind of get to see the ball rolling. Okay, guys, do not forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.